You hit
What?
recording. Stop, dude. Come on. Intro. Oh, wait.
You didn't do
Wait,
the count.
hold on. Sorry. Sorry. Okay. Yo, what is up, everybody? Welcome back to the Anime Social Club. Just like every week, we're bringing you high quality production. It's your boy Kid Benji.
Every week.
Doing the best that I can, and you can't
I
fault
know.
me
I
for
made my
that.
bed today.
In terms
High
of
quality.
made beds,
Hate to see his worst.
we're joined once again, like we do every single week, talking about another anime movie.
He's gonna take
Join
those.
join with me today is Jacob and Bryan, like always. The two other
Like always.
lovable idiots that I commentate with. If you're wondering, yeah, they are uncultured anime watchers, but
Uncultured, holy shit.
they're very opinionated,
Wow.
so that's why I have
Toss
them
them out
here.
some
I'm an
terms.
individual.
Yo, y'all haven't completed Evangelion yet, so like I said, like
God forbid I go outside.
God
I know.
forbid, yeah.
I know.
Anyways, so the movie for this week was Redline, which I have a lot of things to say about it, and I don't have anything to say at the same time. Kind of a weird dynamic. But like we do every single week, we're gonna go quick thoughts on every single person, and then general discussion, and then we'll give it our rating. So Bryan will start us off, and Trickster in the chat says, "Hot take: Bryan is the best boy." I agree. Bryan is
My
a pretty
God.
good boy.
That was a pretty hot take.
That was one of the hottest takes I've heard all
Wow.
week.
All right.
Wow.
Anyways,
All right, my turn. Okay.
Redline.
Actually, I when I was watching it, I was thinking the whole time. I was like, Are you sure this is the right movie I was supposed to be watching?" And then, like it's the crazy one with all the racing, right? Right. Just want to make sure I watched the right one. Okay.
Crazy one with
Yeah,
all
it
the
just
racing.
seems so different than everything we've watched. I actually loved every second of it, honestly. It was hard for me to even be critical of the story because I just thought the whole thing was like eye candy. I love the animation so much, and I think they did like disgusting characters really well. Like there's a couple disturbing scenes where like that dude's like rubbing his finger in his mouth, and I thought like that's pretty good. Like they didn't even have to make him seem like a money like grubby kind of character. He just all he had to do was stick his finger in his mouth, and we hated him already. It was like, oh, look at this sleaze bag. But no, it was pretty good. I mean, it was a pretty like generic story if you think about it, right? It was just, oh, here's some dude who's racing, and then the guy who like designs his car puts a bomb on it in case he doesn't know the race properly, right? Like you see that with like fighting movies and stuff all the time. But no, I would say the one thing that the show just does better than anything, I've never seen any animation like it at all. So I guess it just gets the sort of the pass on that alone. Like it was just really cool to watch. There was tons of explosions. I mean, it was just eye candy. I mean, there wasn't anything too crazy plot wise. I mean, he kind of gets the girl, I mean, you know. So yeah, I guess there it is. That's the surface thoughts right there.
Nice. All right, Jake, what about you?
For me, like I mean, I just really enjoyed the movie overall as well. Like I really, really love the art style. It was definitely one of my favorites that I've seen, probably ever. And yeah, just like the whole thing was definitely eye candy the whole time, and it was definitely a cool thing to watch. The story, I guess, does get a pass. Realistically, like I felt like that too. Like you kind of there's a whole bunch of things we pointed out that was like, wow, why does this red line race even matter? They never even actually go over why anybody cares to cross the red line, right? They never actually talk about that. We don't even know why they give any fucks about the red line or the yellow line and why it's important. But you don't actually care because you're just watching the whole movie. You're just like, oh, like I was just like, this is Fast and Furious as an anime. It was like, hey, let's just like make like a cool Fast and Furious anime version, and then like they put it into like almost 2 hours. And so for me, like, which like that's cool. Like I'm totally cool with that, and I don't know many people that don't like Fast and Furious at all. So it was like one of those things. It was a win-win. I got to see some like cool racing thing and a cool concept I don't really watch a lot in anime, but also like it was done really, really well as far as visually, and like it was really cool to watch, and it actually had some decent action in it, and it actually had something that like made me like keep watching it, throughout. So, but yeah, it was cool. It was a cool experience overall.
Nice.
Nice.
Here
So,
comes the hot take.
Yeah, hot take.
and I honestly can't say that I disagree at all. I mean, yeah, why? Like, it's almost like I was struggling to find, like, why would you do all this effort, put beautiful animation, and then it means nothing? Like, there is zero substance to anything. All the substance is in terms of the visuals, which I would say would make me hate anything else. But because Redline is literally the greatest thing probably ever animated ever, and it'll probably never be replicated. Like, like the amount of detail and like work that went into it, it's just that high.
Yeah.
Like, it's gonna be a damn long time for anyone comes close to it. But I really think the next one that's gonna break through, it's gonna be in the slice of life space. It's gonna be a drama that probably ascends to Redline's level because those are a lot easier to animate, but less dynamic. But yeah, it's just because I've actually been having this problem with just anime in general that I've been seeing that premieres is that they do a lot of work in the visuals and it looks beautiful, but then they just forget to like put a story in or have characters you can connect to, you know? And like after watching this, I am completely convinced that there is no way, at least for me personally, can I ever say something is good anime wise if all they do is just the animation part. Because if the greatest animated thing of all time can't make me care, then nothing else will ever make me care, you know?
Yeah, seriously.
Like, you can't cover it up. But yeah, every single frame of this movie was like, I actually had a hard time watching it initially because there was just so much going on. My eyes were like, like I was having an aneurysm. I was like, oh my God, like, is this what, like, I wish real life was this vibrant, you know? It was just so much everywhere. And I loved every second of the animation. It was so cool. I'm probably gonna like this. I love this movie more than most people because I like racing anime, and I forgot I liked racing anime until I saw this. You know, like first it started off with like the first thing that came to my head when they were doing the racing, I was like, now this is pod racing. You know, it was almost like it was inspired one way or the other, but I felt like a Star Wars pod racing vibe from it. And yes, I know that sounds fucking stupid, but okay, there are a couple racing anime. So Trickster in the chat says name one good racing anime, which I will. Okay, just I'll get to it in a sec.
I don't know any.
I can't think of a single one.
So it's not okay.
This one.
I'm gonna start with a shitty one. And then I'm gonna go to other two. This will be real quick, and then we'll do general discussion. So one is NASCAR Racers, which used to come on TV every Saturday morning. I love the shit out of that show. Okay, fuck you if you don't like it. The next one is Oban Star Racers, which was on Toonami and Cartoon Network in midday. That was a great show. I really liked it as a kid. It's probably bad now, but I want to keep it remembered as great quality. And the one good anime that I think did racing really well was a show called IGPX, Immortal Grand Prix. And this show is the thing that takes it's the closest thing to Redline, I would say. Basically, they're in giant mechs, but instead of fighting, they race. And I remember that being extremely entertaining. And I love the concept of driving fast cars or fast things really fast, you know.
Megalobox had a few racing scenes. It was kind of good.
Which So funny enough, like I feel like Megalobox is like a cousin of this.
I was gonna say it's like a close vibe, huh?
Yeah. Okay, let's just break up into discussion.
Okay.
So you've seen Megalobox, right, Brian?
Yeah, I loved it.
Yeah. So did you not feel like the whole show was Megalobox but with racing?
Yeah, sure. I mean, dude, it's so hard for me to be. I'm so biased. I love these types of like. Okay, this is the kind of anime you can make an entire book series off of, or movie series off of. Like like they gave us like this is like the Star Wars effect, right? You make like one Star Wars movie, and they gave us like how many different aliens in there? I can start writing lore for this shit like on the spot. They clearly use different species. everybody was so nonchalant about the other species existing, which means that the world is so old. Obviously,
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. It was just really cool how like integrated all the alien species were. You have to imagine this is like thousands of years, but all the corporations have taken over, which is why there's not necessarily high tech everywhere because they're probably just galaxy wide oppressing everybody.
Yeah.
Like it was pretty. It's just really cool. Really, I love that slummy feel, like futuristic, like kind of cyberpunk kind of look too. And
Mhm.
obviously the main character's so overdone, but I love every second of it with the stupid hair and everything. It's like,
Yeah.
I don't know. I couldn't even get mad at this. Like Jacob was saying, there's really not any crazy plot. I mean, this is like a 2 out of 10 complexity plot, right? Like, and it doesn't even sink to certain. It doesn't. You don't even find yourself asking any questions. I didn't ask myself a single question. I was watching Stranger Things the other day, and I asked like 15 questions in the middle of it. This I wasn't even asking. What's the prize? Why do they even want to win? Where's the ending? What's the rules? It seems like people are allowed to go underground, in the air, on the road. Like I can't imagine this is just a straight line.
Mm-hmm.
It didn't seem like it was a straight line race, so why couldn't someone just like fly there instantly? Do they just win on like if they take a jet? Like, what's the rules? I don't know.
Mhm.
So I thought it was pretty,
Yeah.
it didn't even matter though. It didn't matter. I wasn't even thinking about that. I'm thinking about that now. So
Oh yeah, for sure.
That's how I
Whatever.
felt about it too, and also I felt like I agree with you on the fact like we were saying like this could have been a whole anime series,
Oh yeah.
like this could have been a whole TV show, and where they like filled in all these gaps, and like if you really think about it, like if this was just the meat and potatoes, and then they filled in those gaps, like this anime would have been like or would be like the greatest of all time, I would say, definitely up there, and so with like because I'm actually like watching a scene right now, like the ending scene, and just like watching the detail, like literally like the tires and little pieces are
Yeah.
breaking apart. Like it's not just like the tire falls off, like it's a tire and then this tube and this like so
Dude,
for me like it's just amazing to watch. It's just
the amount of
crazy.
effort they put into just energy effects of like the
Yeah.
like version of power and stuff, it was insane. It was crazy that like they went so over the top with it. So where it was unrealistic, but they did it so realistically that it had you like sort of just like a loss of words. Like
Yeah.
it kind of was up there with did you guys ever see that Netflix series it was like Death, Robots and something? Love,
Oh yeah,
Death,
Love, Death, and
Robots.
Robots.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. All that stuff was like really well animated, but some of the stuff was pretty interesting stories. Some of it was just kind of like okay, whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It kind of reminded me, got me a feel of like that too. Except I like this because it was a more complete package. But it
Mhm.
really did feel like we were watching 6 episodes of what I would say is like 2 or 3 season anime that's like god tier.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It
It's
just
like summarizing
Like
a whole
Cowboy
season
Bebop
really quick.
god tier.
yeah.
And the only reason
Yeah.
why the plot wasn't too good for us is because we were just watching this one particular race scene.
Yeah. It was funny. Jacob even mentioned it was like it felt like we were watching the finale. Like
Yeah, so like you were watching a season finale.
Yeah.
Imagine
Like all
imagine
this
like
stuff that built up.
yeah, it'd be really cool if they like went like I mean it's still possible now. Like imagine if they like made a whole series that predates the movie. I think that would work.
All the way up into the yellow the yellow
yeah.
finale or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because like we don't like Jacob said, we don't know why Redline means anything. We don't know if there's any
We don't know
other
why it means anything to any of the main characters at all.
Yeah, we don't know if there's any other colored lines, Like what's the progression to get here?
We know there's only two. Yeah.
Yeah, how do you get to where there's only like 8 people like in this? Like what's the training aside from just racing cars on a dirt track? Like all she did was
and
just
why is it done on a robot planet that doesn't want you there?
Yeah.
I like that.
Why does
fact.
it have to be done there?
That-
Like,
the
like it was just always made me like wonder.
It was like they were like, these guys are so fucking insane. We'll just hold this race anywhere, including a hostile fucking planet.
Yeah.
Like-
Yeah.
In a way, it was so badass. It's like we're gonna hold the race on your planet while you try to kill us all,
Yeah.
and that just adds to the race.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, and it just I think the thing that bothered me most was the relationship between the main character and his best friend. Like it it was just
which one, the engineer guy?
yeah,
The
the
one with the arms.
yeah. Or no, not even just
from Spirited Away.
no Steve Bloom's character.
The designer of the thing.
Yeah, no, the other guy, Flint or whatever his name was.
His best
The
friend,
guy who was working with the mafia.
the one who blew up his car initially.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, he wasn't gonna blow it up the second time, right?
No, he
Yeah,
wasn't.
that's what I thought.
Yeah, like, but
Yeah, it was supposed to. It was supposed to be a boost, I guess. Like it was supposed to.
no. The
Is it?
bomb, because he detonated the bomb in the beginning scene so that he would lose.
Mm.
Yeah.
No, I know.
as
That's what I'm
insurance.
talking about. The
No, in the second one, yeah, he blew it up as a boost. That's what the mechanic did. But the engineer guy, like the
Do you think
relationship.
it was designed differently?
What do you mean, the bomb?
Like, do you think the bomb was actually
yeah, the
designed to be
mechanic
sort of
didn't.
like a
the mechanic didn't
boost?
design it different.
No,
I don't
no, no,
know.
no.
The
It was
mechanic didn't know.
Yeah, the mechanic didn't know. He was just like, they just had to do something to try to get them ahead. But with that though, it's like,
But I think it gave him the boost because the best friend set it up like that. Because he was the only one who set it up. Is my point.
Like,
What?
the first one
Like,
was going to be a
he was
bomb. The
supposed to
second one
make
was
him
designed to be a
win,
boost, right?
no. The second
Yeah,
one was
I'm pretty
designed to
sure.
be a bomb. The second one was supposed to be a bomb.
You think so?
Yeah. Well, that's why he had it. Like his see, this is part of the problem too, is that the fact that you're like having to figure that out, and this should be a clearly defined plot point. That
Yeah, because it doesn't. It's not clear if it was like supposed to be a bomb or a boost.
Why
like, at
attach
all,
a
though.
bomb and bring the trigger when you were never planning on pushing it?
well, because
Yeah,
that's
because
the
to
thing.
create an illusion because of the mafia. So like it's because like, but I don't know.
But that was supposed to be the climactic, or like the dramatic decision that's made in the end of the show, because
Yeah,
because
well,
if you
that was
notice, like
foreshadowing.
if the mafia part wasn't there, there were no truly life or death choices, even though the entire race was life or death. But you never attributed the life or death idea to any part of the race. That concept only really came into your head when introducing the bomb into the mix, right? So having that there in the series gave it, I don't know why, like the series probably could have done without the bomb, honestly. Like, we didn't really even need the mafia part.
It just
like,
brought the stakes up. Is all.
Yeah, it was supposed to like raise the stakes, but granted, I would have more so had like the stakes been something else, because I feel like if you could have removed the mafia part, and replaced all the mafia scenes with more contextual development for him and his best friend, plus him and his love interest, automatic increase in quality of the show, like right away. I would need to really look into like who were the writers for the show, and who did the series composition, or who did the composition for like just storyboarding and everything, because I feel like that'll tell me exactly why it ended up being the way it was.
I can't help but feel like, okay, we can, like, I feel like we can agree, like, they like min-max the animation and the coolness of this movie as like a 10 out of 10, right? And I just don't know if it would have been possible to also do, like, I have this theory. I don't actually believe a 10 out of 10 anime could ever exist. The reason being is, in order to get the actual 10 out of 10 in one category, it like robs other categories, to pay for it, so to speak, right? So like, this couldn't have been a 10 out of 10 animation, cool ass movie to watch if there'd actually been a really cool plot, because you would have had to take more time and invest in the plot, and you can't animate investment of plot, right?
Yeah.
Like, you can't animate plot really that well. So
Yeah.
I think that it just did what it came to do, and it showed us a 10 out of 10 sort of in one category, and I will always appreciate that.
Yeah, exactly. Like, I mean,
Yeah.
it just goes back to the thing. It's like, you can never really okay, you can always say that, they'll never be a 10 out of 10 anime, because I mean, you can't have, it's like saying what's a 10 out of 10 piece of art, it's like you can't have that technically.
That too, obviously, even if we could all agree on it.
Yeah, exactly. It's because it all ends up in subjectivity. Like, you have objective reasoning for liking certain things of the movie, and then that gives you a subjective viewpoint, because the way you reach those conclusions is dependent upon, okay, I'm going off a tangent, but still, regardless though, I do agree, like, the art in here, I feel like it would be very hard to say that the art was bad in any way. Like you really have to stretch, like, you really got to be like, maybe it was bad because there was too much going on, maybe. Like you
maybe like preference. I feel like
it's almost like you have
I'd
to
write that person off and be like, well, that's just like your opinion, man.
yeah, and then you just devolve into another internet weeb argument. But yeah, it's very hard to really God, like this is probably one of the most forgiving movies we've seen, where we're willing to forgive it so much.
The animation was that good.
Yeah, it was just at that tier comparatively to like a lot of the other stuff that we've seen, that tries to balance everything out in terms of what it's trying to accomplish. But I really hope, because we got an announcement that Akira is gonna get a movie remastering plus an anime series. So I would love if Redline got an anime series. I would be extremely stoked about that. Like I'm the idea of a Redline anime series is actually more entertaining to me than the idea of an Akira anime series. Like I like the world of Redline was built out such that like there's just so much stuff to explore, like what you were saying for Star Wars. Like come on, like you could like I don't know.
I mean, I guess you could do the same.
So obviously we don't need anything too complex, right?
Yeah, and I feel like they One Punch Man season 1 this movie, like you blew your whole load, So either you ascend to something more ridiculous, or
which never works.
Yeah, or you dial it back and you just do a prequel, which is possible, because I really like the story that they had said that was happening before, like watching them learn to race.
Don't you feel like One Punch Man maybe should have just went the prequel route?
Probably, yeah. In the same way, like you got that Boros or Garos fight in the end, and it was so extreme.
We know how powerful he ends up, right? They could get us locked in for 8 motherfucking seasons. They could literally My Hero Academia this shit. He starts out as this he's got hair and he's a fucking wimp, and then we get to watch 8 seasons of him somehow become literally stronger than a god.
Yeah, I mean they kind of explained it.
Did it though?
Yeah.
Because he did 100 squats, 100 push-ups, 100 fucking
a lot of miles.
sit-ups. And 10K fucking every day. All right. And I tried that workout, by the way. I was only able to get up to half of it.
Yeah, you got to do it every day. You got to do it every day.
I don't think I would end up as My Hero after 30 days.
I definitely can't do that workout.
I feel it. But
I had to do it in chunks, dude. It was terrible.
We're stretching here. It's really hard to find anything to talk about in this movie.
We kind of are. Is there any area? I guess. Okay, we could kind of talk about just some of the stuff that was introduced around where you could literally make entire series off of, right? So you've got this Robo World, and when you hear about people talking about them, you've got this Captain America figure, right?
Mm-hmm.
All that was pretty cool. Well, what exactly is Robo World? Why is Robo World the only non-scum piece of shit apparently on the earth? It was funny because we were rooting for the Renegades, but in reality, Robo World was kind of pure in a way.
Yeah,
which is ironic because it means that the only pure things were robots, and all the living organisms were scum. They didn't allow all these fixed races and shit. And they didn't want all this on their planet. And there was that weird ass fucking weird boy machine at the end. Remember that? That was kind of weird. Yeah. Robots had made a bioweapon.
It's funny that you're saying it because we don't know what happened to the bioweapon. They
shot a laser.
No. It came back. Yeah, it came back, and then the other guy went into a bioweapon, and the bioweapons fought.
Yeah, they just started fighting, and then
the race ended. Right. Yeah, then the race ended.
Yeah. I didn't even remember about that. Holy shit!
Exactly.
Yeah, that colonel dude just got all powerful for no reason and could control some random ass monster.
No, that fucking giant monster is a serious fucking issue for the whole galaxy. I feel like if it can just regenerate from a scrap, and it's this super powerful bioweapon thing.
Yeah.
They got some big issues on their fucking hand. What do they create over in this planet?
Exactly. Yeah. So there's just a lot that they can be explored. But I mean, I kind of predicted we weren't going to have much to say just because of how little substance it contained in it.
I kind of got a serious Megalobox Guardian of the Galaxy kind of vibe smushed together,
Oh yeah, for sure.
It was this, you had the seriousness, but then you also had the goofiness, and the over the top, just yeah, we're gonna get this race done, you know.
Mhm.
And nobody really cared that anybody was dying ever, and the
Yeah.
crowd just loved it.
I would say
Fuck
yeah.
I'm really happy in terms of like things that try to be really showy. They didn't use the name of the movie and then like you could call this race a red line. You know what I mean? Like
Oh
like
yeah,
we
yeah.
got ourselves a red line here, boys.
Oh,
You know?
that's okay. That's a really good point, and I think that's replicated throughout the whole movie. It never. I didn't feel like it tried to do anything cheesy at all. I never cringed. Surprisingly,
Yeah, it
I
definitely
never
was not
cringed.
cringy.
We're literally watching Johnny Bravo, the space racer, and I never cringed one time. It was actually impressive.
Yeah. And it's funny.
The character should have been full cringe if you think about it, right?
Yeah, really.
And I never
Yeah,
cringed.
for sure.
It's because
It
this
could've
show
been super
never.
cliche.
Yeah, the show never took itself seriously, or like the movie never took
Yeah.
itself seriously. So, but yeah, Trickster actually says, Sosane's moniker, which was fucking Cherry Boy Hunter. They're it's like, what the fuck? Just like,
Wait, what?
remember the chick's nickname that they gave her,
Yeah. Okay, I was kind of confused about that.
Cherry Boy Hunter.
What does that mean?
No fucking clue. I don't even know why. I don't even know why they called him Sweet JP.
She didn't even like the nickname in the movie.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't know.
So they have all
all that
those
we get.
things, and those things make you feel like you've missed something. And I think that's actually when it's good lore. Is when
Yeah.
you feel like
Mhm.
this is you've missed. You're on movie 2 instead of movie 1. Is when I feel like
Yeah.
they made a good movie. I don't need to be told everything. I actually want to be like thirsty for more. And the fact that they didn't tell us a lot of shit.
Yeah, I think if I had never seen a Ghibli movie, I would have liked this movie a lot more. Because Ghibli
Yeah.
does extensive world building and animation with dynamic characters, but still maintains a story. Even in the movies where not a lot was said, they still said a lot, like Laputa.
Ugh.
But I mean, for like I said, but for what Redline did, like in technicality, like astounding. Too bad Madhouse kind of has faltered lately, but another topic. But all in all,
Was that
yeah,
like the production company for this? Or
yeah,
what?
yeah. Madhouse, they do a lot of ups and downs. I'd say. But yeah, overall, you guys want to go ahead and give it a rating?
I'm ready.
Go.
Let's do it.
Cool. All right, Brian, what would you rate it?
So I felt like it was like it automatically just loses 1 point for not having any really sophistication. But honestly, I'd give it a 9 out of 10. Like I know that's so high, but I loved it. I don't know. Like I guess it just gets a 9 out of 10. So there.
Cool. What about you, Jake?
All right. For me, I would give this a solid. I would give it a 7. I think like for me, like it's like if I think about it, I would give the story like a 3 and like the animation like a 10. And so I was like, I could feel good about a 7 because the story wasn't like too terrible, and it's definitely like if I knew, like if somebody told me their favorite movie was Fast and Furious, or they love racing movies, or they love Need for Speed or whatever, like this is definitely like a cool like introductory, like I would watch this with like anybody, like any homie for the first time, like just as a fun, cool like anime movie. So I mean, yeah, I would say like a solid 7. But like again, like it was a great movie. I love watching it. I would highly recommend it. But just because I guess if I'm comparing it to everything else, like with what Ben said, if it wasn't for watching like a Studio Ghibli movies and like some of these great movies we've seen, it's hard to give it like a super high score, because if I want to put the storyline with it. But yeah, I'd say a 7 if I'm being honest.
Cool. Yeah, so I would give it an 8. And that 8 is because if this was a game of League of Legends, the animation 1v9 the enemy team, literally carried it on his back, was 40, 0, and 20, utterly just dominating the entirety of the movie. So but
And yes, I would let my dad watch the movie.
You know what I felt the plot was like? You guys know how like those like professional jumpers in like the Olympics will have like a trick set they'll do,
yeah,
and like the trick set has a maximum number of points it can give them if they got it right. But if they go for too complex of a trick set and they mess it up, then they won't even get close to what they would have gotten with an easier one. I feel like this movie was like, all right, we're gonna go for the most basic. We're just gonna do like one front flip, but it was the greatest one front flip you've ever fucking seen.
Yes, exactly.
So the judges can only ever give it like 20% extra credit or something. So it's like, all right, well, you get 3.2 points instead of a 10 out of 10 for it. But it's like they gave them the maximum fucking score for the possibility. It's like that's how I felt it.
I would definitely give this movie an 8. But like I said, that's off the back of the animation. Like, it just carries it so fucking hard.
Yeah,
Plus, I love racing shit in anime, so sue me.
I'd watch 10 of these rather than one Need for Speed or Fast and Furious movie.
Yeah.
I'd pay you to make me not watch Fast and Furious. That's how much I hate Fast and Furious. I fucking hate Fast and Furious, but I love this.
Yeah, because it's.
I don't know what that says.
That says that they know how to make an actual racing movie, I guess. But anyways, thank you guys once again for another beautiful podcast. Stick around for after the show. We're just gonna chat and hang out a bit. And if you guys are listening to the audio version of this, be sure to catch the live stream that we do every single week. We literally don't have a schedule for this. We just do it whenever the fuck we can because we're lazy like that. But you have the other podcast for continuity. So the next movie we're gonna do is sort of drum roll. You know what? Okay, stop. In This Corner of the World is the next movie, but we're behind a week, so we're probably gonna have to do.
What's it called?
A double in this corner of the world.
Yeah.
In This Corner of the World. That's the name of the movie.
I know, I'm trolling.
Okay. You're so funny. You're so funny.
Yeah, I know where it's at, Vigi, but what's it called?
So. Okay. Yeah, that's the next movie. The movie after that's already been announced because we're a week behind. So, it's Summer Wars. So check out the Kitsu Movie Club. Join that. The discussion's gonna go up in like 2 days, but we need to do that one, and then we're gonna do this next one. So we got a lot of podcasts to get through. Anyways, thank you guys for listening. Be sure to check out the YouTube channel Anime Social Club and every podcasting platform. Anime Social Club, anything audio related. So appreciate you guys for tuning in, and we'll see you guys next time. Bye.